It's really important that your organization understand the value of public relations, but unfortunately, many organizations do not, and they do not at their own peril because they take for granted what PR is, if they even know what PR is at all. We'll talk about that next. So public relations within large organizations is one of those areas where sometimes you have your upper level administration, your leadership, your CEO, your president, and they don't necessarily appreciate the way they should the value of PR and the way that PR storytelling can really proactively tell the story of your business, of your organization, your brand, whatever merchandise that you have to sell. And many times people think that their merchandise, their brand, what they have to offer will sell itself just because it's something that they think is valuable to other people. But the truth is, you have to understand public relations. You have to understand how you can shape the way that people see your organization, your brand. Because you can't just assume that you have a great product and it's just going to resonate with people simply because it's a consequential or great product. There's much more to that. And then there's the other side. There's another side of PR in that you have to be able to understand how to manage situations. And that takes investment. And a lot of times organizations don't want to invest in different aspects of PR because they think that they just don't need it. And many times leadership in organizations think that they already know this stuff better than a PR professional will know it. They think that they can do what the PR professional will do. And this is something that happens in way too many organizations where they just assume that they know everything that you know and more. And that can lead them down a dark path toward self-destruction or something pretty close to it. So it's important that your organization understand the value of public relations, understand the value of having a strong public relations professional or a strong public relations team that's going to help you to manage your brand effectively, both proactively and when necessary, reactively. But it's important that you're proactive in terms of your public relations so that when it's time that you have to be reactive, hopefully you've set a good foundation for success so that when you have to be reactive, it's not going to be as bad as it would be if you didn't do anything proactive to begin with. And unfortunately, too many organizations don't think proactively with their public relations, and that ends up putting them in a very precarious situation. That puts them on a tightrope because they have not really planned effectively and they have not considered more broadly how the public views them or how the public could view them if they use some positive approach to proactive public relations. And that can be through the way that you market yourself from a PR perspective, either through your website, through your social media, through press releases, through ways that you get out into the community to help shape opinions. There are many different aspects to public relations that are often underestimated. And again, that usually happens at the peril of the organization that isn't taking it seriously enough. So it's important for you to work to sell the value of PR to your organization. And many times they're not going to get it. They're not going to understand the numbers. They're not going to understand the metrics. Even though many times they'll tell you, well, we want metrics. We want to see numbers. They will ask you for that, but it's usually just a knee-jerk reaction because they just feel like, well, metrics tell the story. And they think, well, we'll have metrics. And then what happens is it ends up on a stack of papers on the corner of their desk. And then toward the end of the year, or the end of the fiscal year, or the end of the calendar year, they get a couple days before the holidays, and then they just clear everything off and they throw it into the recycle bin, and it just never really saw their eyes in any kind of a meaningful way. So it's important for you to work inside your organization to sell the value of public relations and all aspects of public relations, including social media, your social media presence, to make sure that you are positively and proactively positioning yourself in an appropriate way and that you have a good game plan and you're ready when things happen that are negative, that you need to put your PR plan into action. If you have done a good job of setting the table beforehand, you're going to thank yourself when it's all over and you're doing your debrief and you think, wow, it's a good thing we took those steps beforehand to make sure that we were properly prepared for the controversy, for the crisis we did the right things beforehand, and as a result, we were prepared for the worst while we hoped for the best.